Hey, and welcome to Vegan Steven's Food for All, where I show you the foods I cook in my vegan kitchen, and you should try them too, because it's good for you, your kids, their kids, and the earth. Today I want to show you how I make Tom Kha Gai, a light, delicious Thai coconut soup. Now, Tom Kha Gai literally translates to chicken galangal soup. This recipe will omit the chicken, but I couldn't figure out what to call Tom Kha Gai without chicken, so we're going to stick with Tom Kha Gai. If you have any insight into this, please comment below. Full disclaimer, this is in no way meant to be a fully traditional Tom Kha Gai, and I'm no Thai grandmother, but I have made this soup a bunch of times and it's real tasty. Better yet, it only takes about 30 minutes to come together. Let's check out our ingredients. First, white rice. I'm using long grain jasmine rice here. Rice is traditionally served alongside Tom Kha Gai, but you can also serve it by itself or with noodles if you'd like. Next, 3 Thai green chilies. Caution, these will blow your head off pretty quick. Use 1 or 2 if you're heat sensitive, or more if you're a hothead like me. We'll use some in the soup and some for garnish. Traditionally, this soup includes an ingredient called galangal. Galangal is a root, kind of like ginger or turmeric, and can be found in most Asian markets. My favorite market, Super G Mart in Charlotte, has it about half of the time I go in. If you can, absolutely use galangal. It has a unique flavor that can't be replicated. On my most recent trip to Super G, they didn't have galangal, so I'm using some ginger instead. 1 stalk of lemongrass to be minced. Lemongrass might be my favorite smell in the world. If they sold it as a cologne, I would drink it. 1 box of veggie stock. I'll show you how to make homemade veggie stock in a future episode, but I always keep a box in my pantry as well. 1 can of coconut milk. This is the primary liquid flavor of the soup. If you haven't used much coconut milk, start now. It's a magical ingredient. 1 package of tempeh. Tempeh is a fermented tofu product. If unfamiliar, that may sound intimidating, but don't worry, we're going to steam this using a steam rack before adding it to our soup. Thus, it will add a protein boost without adding much flavor. Some bok choy. Check out my sesame bok choy video to see how to use this on its own. Some tomato. I love using tomato in coconut soups. It may seem like an odd combo, but the acidity of the tomato cuts through the richness of the coconut milk, achieving perfect balance. 1 carrot to be fancifully sliced using a mandolin. The mandolin is perfect for making quick, uniform slices of any vegetable. My favorite Thai restaurant uses a mandolin, so I'm using 1 too. Lime for acidity and liminess. Cilantro to be picked for garnish. Always store your cilantro in water at room temperature. It'll last twice as long as it would in the fridge. Thai basil for garnish. This is optional. In fact, I probably wouldn't use this next time. And oh, 1 sec, I'll be right back. Almost forgot one of the most important ingredients, kaffir lime leaves. These will add subtle, addictive, limey flavor into our broth. Find them at your local Asian market or use more regular lime juice if you can't find these leaves. Anyways, let's prep. First, our tempeh. Technically, tempeh can be eaten straight out of the package, but I personally don't enjoy the flavor. We're going to steam our tempeh on this steamer rack to mellow it out. Remove your tempeh from the package and place the packaging in the recycling. Folks, if you're not recycling at home already, please start. It really helps the planet. Refocus your camera because you learned from your Mexicanoa dip video to always check your focus. In any soup, you want your ingredients to fit onto your spoon. To this end, we'll slice our tempeh in half lengthwise, then slice across every 1/4 inch. Use your knife to slide the tempeh onto the steaming rack, then steam for 10 to 15 minutes. I didn't film this part. Now to prep the ingredients for the base of our soup. Here we have 3 kaffir lime leaves, a 2-inch knob of ginger, 3 Thai green chilies, and a stalk of lemongrass. Drop top the lemongrass, bash the heck out of it, and remove the outer fibrous layers to expose the core. Give that a smell, and your life has forever changed. Bisect that, then chop slices as thin as you can get them. Pile those up and chop to a mince. We want this minced so no one bites into a huge chunk of lemongrass. Snag your ginger, slice off the peel. Some people use the back of a spoon for this, I prefer using my knife. Chop that in half, and I'm only going to use 1/2 for this recipe. You'll recall that we're using ginger to substitute for galangal. Ginger has a more assertive flavor, so we'll use less of it than we would galangal. Chop it into thin slices, turn, slice again, then mince just like the lemongrass. Now our Thai chilies. Top and tail, then roll firmly between your fingers to coax the seeds out. This will cut down on the heat from your chili. Don't touch your skin or eyes anytime after you handle these. Trust me, I learned my lesson the hard way. Hold up a sec, there goes my timer for the tempeh. Here's my steamed tempeh. Oh, steamy. We'll set this aside for now. Chop 1 chili to a mince to include in the base of our soup. Then slice the other 2 chilies on a bias for garnish. I placed my prepped ingredients on a plate for easy access later. Don't worry about the lime leaves, they're going in whole. Now for our other veg. Here we have 1 carrot, 3 sections of bok choy, and some tomatoes. I have 4 here, but I'll only use 2 for this soup. Pick the bok choy away from the core and discard the core. Peel your carrot, top and tail, then bring in your mandolin. If you don't have one of these, just use your knife to make pretty slices. My mandolin came with various blade shapes. I'm using my wavy blade to make fancy wavy slices. Here's a closer look because I'm a professional and I show the people what they want to see. I sliced a few testers and they were too thick, so I adjusted the width and continued. Be careful as you do this or you might slice yourself like this. Oh! No, I'm fine. Shame on you if you were hoping I would slice myself. I checked my slices out and some of them split like this, so I widened my blade setting a touch. Now I didn't actually slice myself here, but my brain tricked me into thinking I did, so I made the smart move and switched to my handguard to finish the carrot. Some of my slices turned out a bit too thin, so I won't use those in the soup. Maybe Ellie's hungry. Oh, who's a little dark angel? You are, Eleanor. Aw, you cutie. Alright, back to business. Slice the sides of one tomato away from the core. Remove the seeds, and slice to strips. Then place your prepped veg on a plate for later. While my board is out, I'll slice my lime in half, and quarter one half to save for garnish. Next, pick off some Thai basil leaves and cilantro, place to the side, and our prep is complete. Break out your camp stove and drop in a tablespoon of neutral oil. I'm using grapeseed oil. Set to medium-low heat, drop in your lemongrass, ginger, and chili, and saute for 45 seconds. Then add in your kaffir lime leaves and saute for 20 seconds more. We're not really cooking these ingredients, just releasing their oils and consequently releasing their flavors. Next, pour some of your veggie stock over top of your spatula. This cleans off your spatula and prevents the veggie stock from splashing out of the pan.
That's a twofer! Twofer, baby! Oh my goodness! Yes! Wow!
Next, in with our can of coconut milk. Now I'll add the rest of my stock. I added the stock bit by bit to ensure I didn't tint the white color of the soup. I recommend you do this with your stock too. All stocks are different, some are darker, some lighter, so be careful. Next, turn the heat to medium and bring everything to a gentle simmer. I tasted here for salt and added about 1 teaspoon. Taste again, another half teaspoon, and now that we're at a gentle simmer, cover, reduce the heat to low, and simmer for around 10 to 15 minutes. Covering the soup prevents it from reducing, so the saltiness won't change much and the final soup will be thin and light. Fast forward 10 minutes, give it a mix, and taste. I added another teaspoon of salt. Some Tom Kha Gai recipes call for fish sauce, which is non-vegan, or soy sauce to add saltiness, but both would darken our soup, so I don't like using them. Now that our soup is tasting nice, we'll add our carrots, tomatoes, and 3/4 of our tempeh. I saved 1/4 of my tempeh for something else. Cover and simmer for about 2 minutes. We want our veggies to maintain some texture, so we're not cooking them for long. Uncover, add your bok choy, and cook that all for 1 more minute. You could add any veggies you wanted to this. Mushroom or red bell pepper would be excellent additions. Remove the kaffir lime leaves. Taste. Mine was yummy, so I covered it to cook for 1 more minute. I made a mistake here and let my heat go a bit too high. Notice how the simmer is more vigorous than it should be. So I turned my heat off and went in with the juice of half a lime. The lime is adding a pop of freshness and acidity, so we're adding it at the end to preserve that freshness. Another taste, and oh yeah, Cam Newton eats vegan now.
Cam Newton, who was leaner, looked a lot leaner when we met with him on Friday at the Panthers facility. He's gone all vegan now.
I added the juice of another 1/4 lime, covered, and set aside. And I forgot to turn the camera off, so here's some important moments from the next minute and 22 seconds of accidental film. Here's Camp Stove. He's been a great friend for 3 years now. We road trip to California and Canada together. He's always reliable, can be a bit fiery at times, but if he gets out of control, I just stuff him in the trunk of my hybrid, no problem. Here's Robert, our robot vacuum cleaner. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Ellie, our angel child. Thank you, universe. Our 2 bins, 1 for recycling, 1 for trash. We recycle about twice as much as we waste, and we're trying to improve. And the floor. It feels nice on my feet. There's some chili seeds on there right now, but I'll sweep and fabuloso this baby and it'll be looking beautiful in no time. Don't take that out of context. Now to plate. I'm not a plating expert by any means, but let's see how things go. I like to go in with veggies first, then ladle the broth over top. Then pick out a few more veggies and place them carefully so they peek out to say hello. Now we'll zoom in, lay down some Thai basil. I'd tear smaller pieces next time. Some cilantro, I'd use less of this as well. Drop your lime wedge in, sprinkle over some Thai green chili. Then abandon your plan entirely and move everything to the center of your bowl because you're trying to figure out what would look good on Instagram, but you have no idea how to make this look as good as it tastes. Next time I'd keep it simpler, just a sprig of cilantro, some green chili, maybe some red chili, and lime slices instead of a lime wedge. You could also serve your garnishes on the side for guests to handle for themselves. Whatever you decide, serve it alongside some rice or noodles. All in all, this is a delicious light soup. You can eat it in any season and it's incredibly cost effective at just $3.41 per serving. Check the description of this video for an itemized cost breakdown. Support me by subscribing to this channel, telling a friend, sharing on the social medias, following me on Instagram, and consider becoming a patron. Thanks.